Well, we've just won the title, and now we've got a long summer of planning for the Champions League ahead of us. Oh, and some awards to give out. So, stick around, be a long summer. I mean, not that long, but there's a video coming. So, let's get straight into it then with the end of season awards, which have come up nicely as we need them. So, our fans player of the season, Joe Ledley. Of course, Joe Ledley was the fans player of the season. Akira Wright, second, top scorer in the league, of course he is, and Kamil Dankowski was the third place in the fans player of the season. Goal of the season was Damien Gasca, right back at the start of the season in August. Let's have a quick look at that. Let's see how that shook out. This was when we were still playing the 4-5-1, the straight 4-5-1 V shape. Collins was still in the starting lineup. Kaiser was getting games. What is this madness? Lubojko was still at the club. Absolute insanity was happening. Longstaff whips it in there. Look, Gasca, edge of the box. Hoof! I think we live conned that game. I don't remember. But there we go. Joe Ledley is the signing of the season, and Luka Racic is the young player of the season. Team of the season: Kushak, Dankowski, Puerto, Racic, Holovnia, Ledley, Longstaff, Bennett, Gasca, Placheta, and Wright. I think Mason Bennett is the only one of those. Oh, maybe Racic, who aren't here the next season. So, good times. Stats: Akira Wright, top goal scorer, 19 goals. Highest average rating, Joe Ledley with a 7.26. Matty Longstaff, best passing, which is 94%, is obscene. Joe Ledley got 6 Player of the Match awards. Matty Longstaff got 7 yellow cards, and James Collins got that 1 red card of the season for us. So that's always a winner. Season review: few will have tipped us to achieve more than a top half finish. We confounded every expectation by finishing top of the pile as unlikely champions. The season of unlikely yet jubilant success we found formed during the middle of the season and never looked back, going on to a competition win few thought possible. The title. Won the league, lost in the second round of the cup. I'm sure we'll get over that. Our league positions, though, almost never in doubt the entire season. I should say the entire back end of the season, because was a while there we were 12th. Yeah, things weren't looking great for us at that point, were they? Match of the season was that game against Lech that the screamer from Gasca just came from. The moment to forget was losing against Gornik about 6 weeks later. We've used 38 players, highest in the league, and our stadium's still only 31% full in the average attendance, so still some building room there. We've achieved one of the club's successes, one of the objectives laid out in the club's vision: qualifying for the Euro Cup. The Euro Cup planned for the end of the 23-24 season. We're 4 years ahead of schedule. 4 years ahead of schedule on that one. Club vision and expectations meeting. See what's changed. See what's changed. I need some water. It's definitely been a day today. Sign players under the age of 23 for the first team. Play defensively solid football. Play possession football. Make the most of set pieces. Play high tempo pressing football. Jesus, do you want to pick the team as well? We've got to work between the age budget. Maximum 1 year contracts for players over the age of 33. Maximum 2 year contracts for players over the age of 31. Sell players before buying is required. And the next season we're expected to finish in the top half, reach the second qualifying round of the Champions League, and see how that goes. We're supposed to work towards being recognised as best of the rest. I'm pretty sure we are recognised as best of all at this point, but let's negotiate that, because there's some things that I'd like to get rid of. I don't want to sign under 23 players for the first team. It's been getting on my tits, because the best players who will come here are not under 23. I don't care about defensively solid football. I don't much care about possession football, but I play it anyway. Making the most of set pieces I'd rather not have, and play high tempo pressing football. Nope. They can also go, because I don't like being told who to do what. Okay, they got rid of the 23s. We'll still negotiate those out. Get rid of as much of this as we possibly can, because it's just unnecessary. Oh, I guess we're stuck with that. I guess we're stuck with that. Okay, we'll make it work somehow. I don't know how to play defensively solid football. It's going to have to be some form of Gegenpress. Good time. Squad dynamics update. Chalaban and Ledley are our team leaders. Chalaban's going to be leaving, so is Brosh, who's one of our influential players. James Collins, if I can get rid of him, he will go. Otherwise, pretty much what we expect. End of season team meeting. Let know what we plan to achieve. I think we're going to say top 3. Well, actually, let's try state objective. No, screw it. I'm saying it. I'm saying top 3. You're not going to get very far asking the squad to compete on a level we're not even remotely close to. We just won the league. Okay, let's go mid-table. That's a lack of ambition now. Do you know what? This is stupid, frankly. Okay, Shantroko issues season injury report. Lucas Vike has spent most of the time out injured this season. I don't know who you are. I suspect you won't be here next season, so bye. Good times. Mans Ingvarsson. I vaguely remember signing him, but again, if he goes, he goes. Stiglitz has spent a lot of time out injured this season. He's also wanted by Albacete. If they put in a good bid for him, he might go. Peter Shelaban is wanted by Shrewsbury. Poor man. I don't need to put that kind of stuff. Put Nocky got himself a coaching badge just as he's about to leave us. Good times. Okay, save some suspense for the transfer special, or to break the suspense for the transfer special. I'm just going to show you who's coming in because that's easier. Future transfers in. So, Akira Wright is signing full time. We know him, we love him. He is our guy up top. He's an important player that could still improve. He's a leading player for most extra class sides, which is expected because he's the top scorer. Currently playing at close to his full potential, but we'll see what happens with that. Madi Soare is coming in. I showed him before, centre half. I've got big hopes for him. I think he's going to become a key part of our defence. Him and Puerto together should help us to achieve that defensive solidity. Lewis Freestone, I'm not so convinced by. I brought him in because I had a gut feeling he might develop into a good player. We will see how that goes, but he's coming in on a free, so it's not the biggest deal in the world. Jordan McAneff is coming in from Arsenal. Again, a player I think could develop into something special. He's played in the Leasing.com trophy and the Carabao Cup for Arsenal this season. Reports-wise, again, he's good enough to be in there in our kind of advanced playmaker conversation, same as Charsley is, but with much more potential than Charsley. So we'll just kind of see how he develops. Plus we have to register him, which helps. Roy Toll is coming in from Volendam, right winger. He has played 14 starts in the Kampioenen division, which is the second division, the second tier of Dutch football. Popped up on a scout report, looked interesting. Thought he might be the guy to replace Mason Bennett, or certainly at least good enough to challenge Masonda for a place in the squad. So I brought him in on a free, which was nice and easy for us. Max Selic is coming in as well. He's a centre half again. Good enough to be up there where Puerto will improve our defensive line a little bit, which is definitely something we need. So he's been playing in the Croatian First League, and he looks fairly tasty. Elijah Dixon Bonner is coming in from Liverpool, a midfielder. He's played 2 games in the Leasing.com whatsy thing too. He's basically being signed for his potential, not for his playing now. He's probably going to come straight in and go straight out on loan somewhere to improve. Julian Schwerman we've seen a fair amount of. He is probably going to get more game time this season. I do like the way he's developing, so we'll see if we can do to make him work. And Morgan Boys is coming in left back from Liverpool. Again, playing that leasing.com trophy. We've rated Liverpool quite heavily, but I want that extra left back just in case we couldn't get Halovnia on loan, just because when Stiglitz probably goes, I'm going to need the extra player in there. Pavlec is probably leaving. Piaszczek needs to improve massively to make place in the squad, so that's going to be a thing. All these guys have been planned to go out for ages. I'm pretty sure you've seen they're all planned to go out. There is no one else, I believe, that we are currently waiting to hear back from. No, good times. I could sell that clause in Chiloviak. 60 grand for another 25 appearances. How many appearances has he played already? Okay. So we could take it now, we could take it at the end of the season. I'm going to take it now, I think. Because after a year in the Champions League it won't matter, but it will help us now. Because I can pretty much guarantee I can reinvest that. Assuming that's gone into the transfer budget. Barely onto the transfer budget. That might have been an error. 9 grand is not what I can do with 9 grand, so we'll just switch that towards our wage budget. Lighten the load up a little bit there. We need to drop about 6 grand of our wage budget. So I'm going to go away now, and I'm going to come back in about a month's time, I guess. I'll probably come back on July the 1st unless something big happens, and we'll see what's changed, if anything. We'll look at the new players as they come in. And a few more awards for the season so far. That's what we like, to see the awards coming in. So Akira Wright has won Player of the Season. A 7.15 rating, 8 voting points from the various managers. On loan from Bayern, but not for long, because he's just signed for us. I'm sure he was playing for Ghana, not Germany. Was he not? Was that not a thing that was happening earlier? Was talking playing for Ghana? I don't know. Anyway. 19 goals, 3 assists, 8 of the voting points. Let's congratulate Akira Wright on his award. Worked hard, you deserve that, good boy. Slash players named in Team of the Season. We have got 8 players in the team. I wonder why I kept seeing like Fantastic 5 and stuff popping up at the bottom of my achievements. I'm guessing that's for 5 of the Team of the Season. So Kushak makes the Team of the Season. Dankowski and Puerto make the Team of the Season. Longstaff and Ledley make the Team of the Season. Bennett, Plachetta and Akira Wright. And the only other 3 that got in there were from Legia, who finished 4th. So a couple of Rakov players, a couple of Jagiellonia players, and I'm guessing there's a couple of 3 Gornik players. Where are you from? Plock? That's like Leby. Also, something that I didn't point out earlier in the season, which I just spotted and found, I don't know if amusing is the right word. Piast here have got relegated, but also were the previous season's champions. So maybe let's not get complacent next year. Anyway, the final award is Akira Wright for top goal scorer in the league with 19 goals. And second best was Igor Angulo with 15 for Gornik. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at that boy. Although in fairness, he's got coaching badges. He's 36 apparently. Is he currently their manager? He's not, but you know, we'll see what happens. And Christian Gitticha. Gitkia? I'm never sure how to pronounce that character. Gitkia. He's off to join Jeonbuk, so there's no point in me scouting him. He's got 5 caps anyway. He was probably not going to come here. Okay, back when there's more news, guys. It is July the 1st, that most critical day on Football Manager in the transfer window. Let's have a look at who's come into the club. I gave you a brief rundown of things, but let's look at who's actually come in, who's gone, because that's what's actually important. So, I think I went through most of these guys with you, but let's look at them in their natural habitat. So Akira Wright, obviously he's been here a year. We know him already. 19 goals for us last season. We can safely say he's a good signing. Madi Soare, 2-star current ability. He was rated much higher by the scouts. Much higher by the scouts. He is not in our top 5 or 6 centre halves. He might struggle to get a game this season, so that could be interesting. He may not get much game time at all. That's fine. Lewis Freestone's come in. Again, much worse than rated by our scouts, but he is only in the under 23, so we're going to add him to the development list, and we're going to see what he can turn into. See if he can turn into a top quality left back. Jordan Muckaneff comes in as an attacking midfielder. Again, lower ability than we thought he'd have. I'm going to move him into the second team, I think. Or we'll make him available for the second team. Let's put it that way. And again, we're going to add him to the development list because you can see here, not even top 10 in that position. So him being in the under 20 in the second team, probably a better idea. Roy Toll coming from Volendam. Again, not as good as the scout said he'd be. He's not really even as good as the options we have. So we'll have to see what we can do with him. He is only 21. It is possible that we could make him available for the second team for 90 minutes. He already is. Good times. We'll add him to the development list too because he is a player who could develop into something good. Max Selic, centre half, 3.5-star current ability, which puts him 6th in our squad. Though Fredson has just gone out on loan. I like Selic better as a prospect for this season, I think, because he's a little bit quicker than Fredson. So that's going to be a thing. Elijah Dixon Bonner, a central midfielder, 2-star ability currently. Again, he's a guy that I'm going to make available for the second team because I don't think he's going to make the first team anytime soon, and we'll have him going out on loan. Look at the coach report here. Yeah, you can see 14th best player in the squad. So we've not actually strengthened the squad much with this set of signings. Like Julian Schwone, we know he's decent enough for us, so we're going to keep him going. That's very much a necessity. He's the 3rd best defensive central midfielder in the squad, though. He's the 8th best centre half in the squad. He's the 4th best right back in the squad. He's just good all rounder, which is fine. Morgan Boyes came in as a left back too. Again, he's a player we're going to actually attempt to develop rather than using in the first team right away because he's a long way off the pace. But again, we'll see what he turns into. Maciej Makowiak, he's a Polish under-19 international. I brought him in because I was worried we were losing a lot of our under-22 players. Having him coming in and able to kind of gain some ability, maybe reach his potential, it just made sense to me. He was out of contract, he cost us nothing to bring in, so we brought him in. And then Sean Raggett has come in from Norwich, who will definitely improve our squad. A 4-star current ability centre half, played last season for Portsmouth, so roughly the standard we're at. Again, if you look at him in the coach report, he is our best centre half now. Him and Puerto, we've got Rakic still sitting around as well. So yeah, defensively a little bit stronger. In terms of the outs, Peter Chelaban gone to Shrewsbury, so he's been a good servant to the club for the last 6 years. I mean, he's been with the club essentially on and off for 10 years, longer than that. He's been with the club for 15 years, essentially. He's left every so often, but he keeps coming back. But 15 years essentially has been with the club. Made a lot of appearances, but his time was very much up with us, I think, this season. So sending him to Shrewsbury for free doesn't seem like that big a sacrifice. Lucas Broche has gone as well. He's gone to Fleetwood. He'll get in their team. He wouldn't get in ours, is essentially what happened there. I mean, I say that they're a championship side, so we'll see how that goes. In terms of other outs, I don't think anyone major left. Pavelec was the big loss. I say big loss. He was hardly playing for us, unfortunately. Again, another player who's been with the club for over a decade, but I couldn't justify keeping him around. He wasn't playing. He was getting on a bit. He was taking up a wage. Just seemed unnecessary. These guys, Hygienia Gak, they appear to be loving our players. A lot of players have gone out. A lot of money I say a lot of money. We've brought in £24,000. In terms of future transfers, there are still a few players waiting to go out. These guys all heading back to Sweden. I brought them in to see if they turn out any good. They didn't, so I got red, essentially, is what's happened there. So if we look at the team report now, look at our squad depth, we'll see what's changed. Not a lot has changed, as you can imagine, although Slattery is now in our best 11, so is Zivilic. Starting to raise questions about Joe Ledley's continued existence in our squad, but we'll keep him around for now. So we've got Akira Wright, Exposito's loan got extended, Gasca, Lishas and Levy, so we still need one striker, because a lot of these guys are very much better served as attacking midfielders. Placetta's still here, he's been to the Euros, had a decent Euros, so that's always good. Gasca can also play there. We've still got Tiggers, we've still got Lishas who can do that. We've got Masonda, Gasca, Lishas and Charsley who can play on the right wing, but I'd like to bring in one more right winger if I can find one. In midfield, Zivilic, Longstaff, Finson and Ledley are pretty much it in that position for us. Still got Stiglic and Holovnia at left back. Raggett, Puerto, Racic and Hipper are not the worst selection of centre halves. And Dankowski, I'd like to bring in someone alongside him because Oliveira and Schwerman aren't going to do it. Also, Dankowski is wanted by Leeds, which is troubling. And I'm in two minds about whether I try and cash in on him now, because he just won't sign a new contract. I cannot get him to sign a new contract. Not because he doesn't want to, because I don't have the money to make that happen. I can't make it happen. Even if I move that all the way up there, it doesn't let me add to the wage budget. Although in fairness, having said that, I've just looked at the finances, so maybe there's a small chance, a really small chance, that if I can get into it, I can persuade our board to give us a bit more money, because we're doing okay on the finances in general. It's not even an option for extra money. So that's a choice I'm going to have to make, because Dankowski, he's not a big earner, but the money we could bring in for him could make a big difference to the squad. In terms of actual ability, I mean, you can see there's not much really changed at the top of the tree here. It's largely the same players doing largely the same things, which is okay going into the season. Piotr Samlek Talar, he was on loan last season. I don't think he's going to be on loan this season. I think he's probably come back to play, to the point where I'm going to take him off the loan list. Also feel like this guy Bartosz Barun might find himself becoming increasingly useful. We'll play that one by ear. If a good loan comes in, maybe he'll take it. Sebastian Berger, again, I mean, he can play up front, right wing, central attacking midfielder. He could be another guy we start looking at. This guy as well, Premislav Bargiel. Yeah, there's some players here that we actually could make some good use of coming out of our youth team. This guy Lushak, if he's wanted for buying, may go, and there's a couple of guys that other guys I'd expect to see moving on. Mashinsky, I'm desperately hoping will move on because he earns a lot of money and he's not that good a player. Sandecha, by the way, seems to be after all of our players, which tells me they're a newly promoted side. They are a newly promoted side, so there could be some good development happening there too. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with it. In terms of what's going on competition-wise or schedule-wise, by the way, I scheduled a whole bunch of friendlies. There was a reason for that. If I can make that do the things I told it to do. Auto size all columns. Did I not have that column set up? I was convinced I'd inserted a TV revenue kind of column for this, but apparently I did not, so there we go, auto size that. I need to bring in some TV money, I need to bring in some general money, I need to test out these players and see if they were good enough to be playing in the Champions League, where we're playing Hapoel Beersheva, which will be in the next episode, because even though we are a long way from the start of the season, I say a long way, the season here starts in July for reasons. I don't understand the reasons, but it starts in July for reasons. So yeah, we'll very quickly back into the season, literally within a couple of weeks. So the next episode we'll do the 2 Beersheva games and we'll wrap up the transfer window, and then we'll come back for the first 2 games of the season where hopefully we'll get ourselves a trophy from Lutz. which would be very nice for us. Yeah, so with that, I think that's pretty much going to wrap up the episode, because otherwise it will go forever long. Yeah, if any more signings come in, you'll see it in the next episode. But yeah, until next time, guys, I've been Chasing Lamely. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, smash the social medias, do all the good stuff, and I will see you next time. Until next time, have a good one.